Hey, howdy, how's it going? I know I haven't made a video on Payday 3 for quite a while, and I'm not gonna lie, it's because this game isn't really that enjoyable. I spent a good amount of time actually playing this game, playing all of the heists, and then eventually playing the new, well, not new anymore, but new DLC that had come out, and it's just not fun. Ultimately, there are a bunch of problems with this game that somewhat, in a way, were addressed, but the reason why I'm making this video is because there's a lot of stuff that's come out recently. As you can see here on this end, we have this trailer, and instead of just showing it like this, I will show the actual trailer and just, you know, without audio or anything. This is something that we should have received earlier. I don't think we should have gotten this as late as it's been. As you can see, subscriber count 368k subs, and this video only has 37,000 views. This came out, as of right now, 5 days ago, and if you look at a lot of the stuff for this channel, overall, people do not care for this game anymore, and that sucks to admit. Now, one thing we will get into is obviously, you know, the highlights, you know, progression, new content, UI revamp, stability, matchmaking, and server browser, solo mode, and offline mode. There's a lot of stuff that's in here that's on this, you know, web page, whatever. You can Google it yourself, or it will be in the link in the description, but I'm gonna let you know this now. There's not really a whole lot to take from this. Basically, from what I can gather, everything from Payday 2 worked, and instead of, like, they changed it for Payday 3, and no one liked that, so they're going back to that. Exactly what, you know, everyone kind of wanted. There's a couple main points, which is solo mode and offline mode. I'm gonna let you know this now. With what is basically said in here in this whole section is not what anyone wants to hear. You still need to be able to connect to an online service. That's just dumb. A lot of games should be able to allow you to connect, like, on your own time without internet. Just download the game and be able to play. This game still has this issue. The solo mode also, they had talked about it, but it's just a bunch of, like, this is shit that should have been out way sooner. Server browser. This has to do with matchmaking. Obviously, that's also highlighted, but the matchmaking for this game is terrible. A lot of the time, you wait for a match to be made, and it doesn't even matter what difficulty it is. You can't leave. You can't unready. And that's one thing that they said that they're going to be adding eventually, is an unready feature. The game has been out for I don't even know how fucking long, and it took them that long to... it still isn't in, I don't think. It's insane that it's taken them that long to add such a simple feature. They're going back to a different sort of progression. With what I could tell, the challenges will be removed, and, you know, it's basically Payday 2 again. Skipping a lot of this, they say new content, DLC pricing, in-game store, and we're gonna tackle all three of these things at once. Basically, new content, in my opinion, the DLC should be pretty cheap. They do say in the DLC pricing that the first one shouldn't have been as high priced as it was for how little of shit it contained. There's no telling that they couldn't just do this again. But for new content, obviously, 3 DLCs are planned to come out that you will have to pay for, and then 1 free one. We have no telling if this free one will just be remastered heists again, and that is a good reason why people did not like the first update, because the first update contained 2 maps, and you cannot even replay or do it the same way. It's different, and it sucks. They also address here and say, we will also be rolling out skill lines, cosmetic items, rewards, a free LMG primary, and much more throughout the year. They're probably already working on a good majority of these things, especially the LMG. That's definitely coming, and much more. There's no telling. That just means that, you know, they're obviously going to try to update the game. An in-game store. I'm going to let you know this now. This game should not have an in-game store. They're saying that they're going to revisit this topic a year from now, but I'm going to tell you this now. If a year from now the game is still in the same state that it is right now, there's no reason to add a store. I am fully for the old system that I brought it up in old past prior videos, that basically, like, the way that Rocket League did it, where you could get a car like the DeLorean or the Jurassic Park set, and it was only like $3, at most $5, and it gave you some cool shit. It's for what you wanted. You didn't need it. It was all cosmetic, and it was interesting. The store for these games, for Payday 2 especially, a ton of DLC is about like $2, $5, mostly on sale. But if they have in-game shop shit that's going to be $15, $20, $25, $100, like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, that's just not a good idea. Don't do that. They also say that they're not going to be really doing anything with Unreal Engine 5, and I'm gonna let you know this now. No one gives a shit that the game doesn't look the greatest and that it kind of looks like plastic Play-Doh. The game doesn't need to be, you know, spot on fantastic, because the game can look amazing and still operate like dog shit. Then there's a few things right here that they have addressed. Unready button. play again feature to basically play with, you know, the same people. This has to do with the merge players into a party post-match. A communication wheel kind of similar to like Overwatch, I guess. Quick play, that would obviously be, you know, you just load into whatever is there. Loadout renaming, still haven't gotten this for a while. Recurring smaller content drops, that's probably not going to happen. Controller improvements, a lot of the stuff for controller really just sucks. I don't know why it operates like dog shit. Stealth modifiers, kind of just changing all of the shit, you know, it's just stealth. And then they talk about a Reddit AMA, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm not looking into this. I do not care for this because they can address as much shit as they want. It doesn't really matter. The problem right now, at least for this game, is that there's really no recovering. And for the people, I'll probably, you know, I'll say it again, I'll probably make this a TikTok. For the people who played Payday 2, or they started on Payday 2, then they played Payday 3 or whatever, using the excuse for Payday 3 to say that when Payday 2 first came out, it sucked just as much, and then look at how it is now. Yeah, look at how it is now, because it had a ton of improvements over time. You would think that they would apply all of those improvements and take that and put it in Payday 3, but they didn't. A lot of missing features that are kind of basic and common sense, I would feel, for Payday 2 were not in Payday 3 at launch. That is why the game died, because there's not really that much intuitive shit. It's bare bones, stripped down nothing of a game. Then one thing I kind of checked in right here is that I looked at their actual news feed page. Obviously, this is their website. You can check between, you know, news for Payday 2 and 3. And one thing that I noticed here is this. Okay, so we go back a little bit here, and you can see September 21st, 2023, you can see that the game first launched. There's obviously the server issues after this point, and, you know, some other things that were going on. Then update 1.01 was in November. The game launched in September. It took them, I'd say, about a month and a half, if we're including right here, to get to this 1.0.1 update. This update did nothing. This update was the first bug fix and patch. You can see it right here. Not even a 1.1. This was terrible. It took them so long. And it's not a finished game. Understand, and this is something that I kind of thought about for a bit. If you have a game like Batman Arkham City, Batman Arkham Asylum, Batman Arkham Knight. Batman Arkham Knight had a lot of issues when it first launched. They had to work on it. But the game itself was still the same after the fact. The story still was in itself. For a game like Suicide Squad, the game released, the story isn't that good, and there's just more stuff to come. There's a ton of bugs and issues with servers and all that stuff for that game. For this game, there's servers and issues and anything like that, but there's not that much. It's not finished. It's not done. It looks incomplete, and it still does, honestly. It looks like after a beta, like the first edition when this game first launched was a beta. Now we're experiencing it now. But then you look and you see that, you know, there's a little bit of an update here, update here, update here. We got this. We had these two things, and this is when people were still kind of talking about this game. No one really cares anymore. Then the update came out for the actual DLC, and people were like, what the fuck is this? This is dog shit. A lot of people are having issues with downloading it and purchasing it, you know, myself included. They kind of, I don't know what the hell happened, but basically, like, the pre-ordered version on PlayStation works as like a different version of the game if you were to buy it after pre-order. I don't know. But then you can kind of see here, you see an update, our plans going forward on January 17th, 2024. And then a month, I didn't click this. A month later, February 15th, 2024. Obviously, it says, you know, new, all that shit, whatever. But it's just too late. They take too long. It takes them too long to address things. They had, okay, when the game first was out, they had a stream that they would do every day for an entire week, where for like an hour or so, Andreas, which is this guy, and, you know, everyone else would basically come on and kind of talk about the game. They addressed a lot of the server issues. They addressed offline mode a lot. But you want to know what they said for almost everything that had to do with the stream? They just said maybe. They're like, I don't know. No knows. It's not a no, but it's not a yes. We'll find out. That's all they did. And that was terrible. That just hurt the game more. If you want to understand how hurt the game is, look at how hurt the game is. Playing 37 minutes ago, 322. The 24-hour peak is 355. The all-time peak was 69,000. Now, in comparison to some other games, you'd be quite surprised how the fuck this is even possible. Then you look at Payday 2. The all-time peak was 247,000, while a 24-hour peak is 33,000. Now, besides the fact of like gain, peak, losing, average, whatever, understand that when you look at this, look, game's only been out for so many months. We're seeing a lot of red here. They gained back on an update, lost it all, lost all of it. They lost more than what they gained at all. This, loss, add, loss, add. But this game is old. Understand that this game is old. You see 2019, 2021, 2021, and then you can see, especially around this time, September all the way up to here, they did lose a little bit more, but they have overall just had more players playing the fucking game. Then I went ahead and checked their Twitter. Nothing really going on here. It's a lot of just addressing the same thing over and over and over. And to be honest, it's a little boring. I think I messaged them a few times. I don't know, but it didn't really, it was whatever. So all in all, I'm never going to make a video on this game again. I don't believe that I will. If, you know, things really change, and I say that now just so it's not something that's held against me in the future. For games like this, I have no faith. This game died, it plummeted, the Steam charts, all of it, it shows. I don't feel bad for this game. It took them too long. It could have been a passion project, but it was ruined, and they ruined it. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this video, guys. I'm sorry that this game has come to what it has, and you know, it could have been much better. But you got games like Helldivers right now where I've been playing it and I've been enjoying it. I made a video on it already. If you guys want to go see that, it's right here. But other than that, just, you know, understand that the game not being the greatest is fine. If you don't like it, that's cool. If you do like it, that's also cool. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. It's completely up to you on, you know, your opinions and all that. You can disagree with me, and that's completely okay. Obviously, you know, you enjoy something, you enjoy it. Don't let people stop you. But obviously, by player counts and stuff like that, a lot of people stopped enjoying this game. I hope you guys have a great week, weekend, weekday, you know, a month, the whole rest of the year. Doesn't really matter. I hope that it's great, though, for you guys. See ya.